today.
Called Demolition Man. Came out in 1993. Directed by Marco Bacchila. Something like that. Marco Bacchila, which is his first movie he ever directed, which he did a good job. And it was written by the guy named Daniel Waters, Peter M. Lenkov, and Robert Renaud. So a couple writers in that one. What's it about?
And starring Sylvester Stallone, who really has to rewind the movie because it was confusing at first to me.
Yeah, because in the beginning it's present day.
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
In the beginning it's present day, but then they go to the future.
Well, what happens first is Sylvester Stallone's a cop for the LAPD, and he goes after this criminal named Phoenix. And Phoenix ends up killing 20 hostages, and he makes it seem like Sylvester Stallone's character, John, knew about it, when in reality he didn't know. So they both get sent to jail where they're frozen for 40 years, and then woken up in the future of Los Angeles, which is now San Angeles. Yes. Somehow. They combined all these, they combined San Diego, Los Angeles, and San Fernando.
Oh,
so, yeah. The characters are Phoenix, the villain, who is played by Wesley Snipes, who's having a lot of fun. Sandra Bullock is the rookie-ish kind of cop who has a lot of nostalgia for the 20th century. And that's the thing, is when they wake up in the future, there's no crime anymore. You can't swear, you can't, the only fast food you can have is Taco Bell. You can't have salt, anything that's bad for you is illegal. It's crazy. The cops don't know how to fight because there's been no crime for so long. It's a really interesting movie.
That was one of the things I was like, you can't have alcohol in the future. That's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. So some of the things I liked how they portray the future where crime isn't around, and you would think it's such a good thing, but there are a lot of cons to it because you have to ban a lot of things to be able to control a lot of things. I liked Sylvester Stallone's character as far as his reaction to how the world is now. Remember when he couldn't figure out how to use the toilet because there's no toilet paper? Yeah. There's 3 clamshells.
He just used the swearing thing.
Yeah, went over to the thing, he's like, F you, you piece of shit, you jerk off asshole. And then it's like, boop, boop. He goes, alright, thanks. That was my favorite moment of that movie.
Right.
Things I didn't like. What's something you didn't like?
The thing I didn't like was when Sylvester Stallone got frozen for 40 years. I was like, come on, dude.
I'll say 2 things. One thing I didn't like, the last 30 minutes of the movie, I think, kind of became just like your standard action movie, generic, and I didn't like that, I'll say. But it's an action movie. You're going to have your third act, huge fight, and I think this movie kind of suffered from doing that. I think they could have taken a more creative route as far as as far as Sylvester Stallone defeating Wesley Snipes. I think they could have been more creative than I'll freeze him again. I think there could have been something more there. But I think the beginning of the movie makes up for the last of it. And the other thing I didn't like a lot was that they never talked about Sylvester Stallone's daughter and what she actually turned out. Even though the guy did say your family's all dead.
Yeah, he did say that.
And he looked at Sandra Bullock, who was a little bit like...
She's like,
so I think the daughter died too in those earthquakes. Remember how we said your wife died in the earthquakes of 2010?
Yeah.
I think the daughter died too.
I think the daughter must have died too.
It's sad, yeah. But what about, who would you recommend? I would recommend this movie too. First, okay. Anyone that grew up in the 90s, people that like action movies, people that like Stallone, and honestly, people that like satire, which satire is kind of like a comedic commentary on a serious subject. A movie like, what's another satire movie? This is definitely satire, heavily. Oh my god, I hate myself for not knowing another movie that is a satire. I guess Bulworth, which no one has ever seen. Bulworth is satire. But yes, fans of that. And I think this movie is actually a halfway decent comedy. And it has a great cast too. It has a lot of people. Stallone as Snipes, Sandra Bullock, Benjamin Bratt, Rob Schneider's in it, Jack Black's in it for a tiny second.
It's like Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura's in it, a very small part. I didn't even notice him.
Didn't even notice.
Dennis Leary's in it. Yeah, there's quite a few good actors in this movie. And Glenn Shadix, who no one knows, but it's the fat guy from Beetlejuice is in this movie. And I like seeing him in this. Even though he kind of petered out at the end. He didn't die or anything. He literally ran off. He goes, sorry, good luck. He ran away.
Right?
Who would you recommend it to?
I'd recommend it to anybody who grew up in the 90s, us 90s kids.
Yep.
Especially, there was a part in the movie where it was predicting today.
Oh, let's see what they got right. They got GPS, of course.
They got GPS right.
Self-driving cars. Those are starting to come out now. Those are on the road.
And they got Alexa right.
Yep, Alexa kind of things, voice activated, everything.
Yeah.
You know the chips everyone got. That's something that they're talking about doing is like getting everyone implemented with chips. They have the what else? There was something else too. Taco Bell's still around. They got that right. Because this movie takes place technically, what was it? It was 2032, so it takes place 9 years from now.
Yeah.
So we're pretty close to when this movie was supposed to happen.
Yeah,
pretty close.
And they predicted basically last year and this year too.
Oh, the diseases and stuff. Yeah, because you know what's funny? All the signs around the city say "Get well."
Yeah.
You know,
be well,
and around here everything says like wear your mask, like stay safe.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's kind of weird. They do have similar things like that.
I was like, wait a minute. Are they predicting last year and this year?
And then remember how they said too, like there's no swearing or anything.
Yeah.
Like no swearing or insults. Like that's not allowed. It's kind of funny because nowadays with all like the people getting in trouble for saying bad jokes or making offensive comments, it's a little bit of that now compared to like what that movie was talking about too.
I would recommend it like Billy said, anybody who likes action movies.
Oh yeah, and I'll rate this one. I'll give it a 9. I'll give this a 9.3.
I'll give this a 9.5.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I will say fun movie, and also the people that made it seemed like they were like on board with it and had a lot of fun with the material as opposed to going through the motions. I don't know. I liked the way the tone of this movie was kind of goofy almost. I liked it.
And next week we review Sheets, the movie.
Yeah, a lot of ghosts in that movie.
Because next week's October, just saying.
Yeah, next month is going to be all Halloween themed movies or October themed movies or fall themed movies, but I promise you that. But until next time, I'll tell you one thing. Wipe your ass with some clamshells.
I don't know what I just did.
And that's what Rocky looks like at the end of it.